Welcome to Life Insurance Today. I'm Edward Pritchett, your guide on this journey as we explore what's happening in our industry and how you can use things that will really help to catapult yourself in this industry in the current environment. And I'm joined here today by the Joe Jordan. Appreciate you as always and have enjoyed these conversations that we've had just about different things that agents can use as they're looking to grow and build their agency and build their book of business as they grow in this industry. And I wanted you to share today, because you do this so well, this ideal of storytelling. Because at the end of the day, that's what allows a client to get past whatever impediment that has kept them from getting a life insurance policy up to that point and actually make a decision, right? Make a commitment to taking care of their family. So what is it about storytelling? How can agents use storytelling to help them as they're growing in their career?
Well, I think it's a very critical thing, and it's a fundamental paradigm shift in terms of where financial services is right now. I mean, as I said before, is that the business is not a story of numbers, it's the number of stories. And you have to understand something, because this was done by North Carolina State. They estimated that people retain 6% of what you told them, but they retain 100% of how you made them feel. So the thing about it is you're exporting other stories to get them into the feeling mode, because that's where people make their decisions, you know. And so we've lost that in financial services. You know, for the most part, it's all a question of numbers and performance and all of that stuff like that. And people really don't understand the numbers that well. So that's that's one of the fundamental things. And the other thing too is, of course, in terms of the way the business is run, the thing you have to understand is people don't buy products. They buy hope. They buy freedom. They buy status. They buy simplicity in financial affairs. And all of those things are abstracts. And we keep talking about the numbers. And Einstein said that not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. So when you have value, and that's something that's really important, okay, value. And price is only an issue in the absence of value. So that's absence of value, everyone goes towards the price thing. So value that can be felt cannot be monitored. And so that's the point that you want to get across, is you want to create an experience for clients to have to begin to feel what you do. So that's the thing that storytelling does, is it transports people through the uses of other stories. It can change someone's hardcore, I don't like insurance at all, or what have you. But you tell them a story in terms of the impact that it had, at another group. Does it work all the time? No, but storytelling is the thing that people can appreciate and they can begin to understand. So one of the things I do, and so if people get on my website, I have two programs. I have three actually. If they get on there, there's one a website. If they click on the link, we'll have it in the video, they can get two stories a month for 6 months free. And so why would I do that? I'm doing it because, one, I want to make certain people begin to understand the impact they have on people. Okay, and the other thing, it might expand the number of stories that they have in their arsenal. So I think that's something that's important. I have two other programs. One of them is Life of Significance, a woman's perspective. I had mentioned before to you that I'm a big advocate for getting women into this business. And that's because I think the future, not now, the future is going to be the ability to create trust in relationships. And women just do that instinctively. So that's 13 stories from 12 women talking about the impact they've had on someone. It's a great recruiting tool. I had some woman called up and complained because she was driving her car and she had to pull over because she was crying her eyes out on one of the stories, So, but that's a thing that's transformational in terms of thinking about, wow, it's the power of what we do, and you can only relate it, from a storytelling thing. The other one is Life of Significance, when business becomes personal. When I was selling, I never went to a small business person because I was afraid of the accountant and lawyer. I didn't think I was smart enough. I figured they'd know something and they'd blow me out, But there's one story, and I'll just tell it quickly, okay? This guy is in our business now. And what happened was he worked for his dad, who owned a big car dealership. Well, the father died, and he and his brother were running it. They had two sisters who wanted income but didn't want to work. And the mother sold the dealership out from under him for a song. The family doesn't talk. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's nothing about dollars and cents and whether we do this, that, or the other thing. If the guy had enough life insurance, they could have bought his mother out and they would have been in the business, and it's there. The family's gone. So those are the types of things that come across from a story perspective. And so we really have to hone the idea and the way of telling stories, which really explains what it is, because people can make that association. Does it work all the time? No, but a lot of times it does. It makes that connection. And that's something, the human side of our business, which is what storytelling helps to do.
Yeah. And I mean, even in that short little vignette that you just shared, like I felt that pain.
Yeah.
Right? Like I felt it like, oh God, like I hate that happened. Like, why wasn't an agent there to talk with that father about a buy-sell agreement and
Right.
you know how you can use life insurance to make sure that your sons who want to continue to run this thing have that opportunity, right?
Right.
And if we could get more into this idea of being able to use stories
Right.
in the proper way, and I love the resources that you have, you guys. We have those links. Like I said, those links are right below. Take a look at those stories just so that you can start to build up your portfolio of stories, right? Like a lot of agents get started and they don't have their own story yet. Borrow them. There's plenty of stories out there. Borrow those stories until you will have that moment where something happens to one of your clients and you're going to have that story.
You know, I just want to make one more connection of a story that I have that's in the free one that we do, the 2 stories. It's a young woman, and she's talking about, she lives with her parents, but she's the sole support, and she has a child, single mom, right? She got accosted by some people and actually set her on fire. I mean, this was really serious. She had a serious hospital stay. Well, she had a life insurance policy, but they could accelerate the death benefit to the tune of $400,000, so it was all taken care of, and her parents could still stay in the house because they're dependent on it. Now, compare that, what she feels about her agent versus the stockbroker who beat the S&P by 3 basis points. You see what I'm getting at? Yeah. You can't articulate the impact we have without telling stories and become good at it.
Definitely. Well, thank you for sharing. Hopefully you're taking the time to get those stories, practice telling those stories so that you can go out and make an impact in your clients' lives. Check the links below, get this information, start to grow, and we'll see you next time.